Hello everyone, this is the extension of the previous video, and over here also I'm performing the same calculation, but I have modified my UI, that is user interface. As you can see over here, the things look pretty attractive and comparatively much better than the previous shape. Let me start certain explanations. When you create any application, the very first thing that you see over here, this is known as status bar. Just beneath the status bar, what comes is the action bar. And over here, if you see, I have given a name, that is my name, Swaroop. So how did I modify this? Because by default, whatever the program you write, the application name that comes over here. So for doing this, you have to change your view and come to the Android view, and once you have done that, it will look something like this. If you expand the app and then you come to the resource folder, RES stands for resource folder, in that you have a folder called values, and if you click the values, you will get three files over here, and they're all in plural: colors, strings, and styles. Okay, so over here there is a file called strings.xml. Just double click on this file, and here it will show you something called app name. Fine, this app name I will be again defining in my upcoming videos, but for the time being, whatever name you will put over here, or whatever term you will put over here, that will eventually appear over here. Hence I have written Swaroop. That's the reason you all get to see Swaroop over here. So that's what the action bar message is coming from. Okay, so let me close this particular file, string.xml. Now if you see the output, it is very colorful. Now where from these colors are getting generated? For this reason, the next file that we will talk about is the colors.xml. If you double click over here, you will be finding some key combinations are there. I will consider this to be a key, and this is to a value associated with the key. Again, you can consider this to be another key and value associated with that particular key. So by default, Android will provide you these three colors. I have added few more colors. The key can be of your choice. Whatever term you want, you can insert it, no problem. But the value part is very important, where from you will be getting the value, and for that reason I have opened the Google Chrome, and over here you will type in the Google just material design color. This material design color is actually created by Android, is specifically made for the Android application, and once you have written this, the very first tab which you encounter will be having color panel, which will be showing you the list of colors. Is a color panel. So if you come to the next tab, here you get the panel with the different color combinations. If you scroll down, you will see a wide range of colors are there, and from this you can choose whatever color you want. So what I have selected over here is this color combination, and after I have selected this, I have inserted the value over here. So I'm choosing one color for a text, so I've written a color text. The other one I've chosen for the background, so I've just selected this one for color background. Okay, and that's the reason why it is looking like that. Now let's come to the XML part. So that's what the color file is again. I will be in some upcoming videos. I have a plan to talk few more thing about the color XML file. So now coming to the XML file. So if you see over here, I have made some arrangement, and I need to talk about those arrangement. So first you see over here, these two widgets which is placed in a single row, they are now taking equal shape. How that is possible, and for that reason I have used a property called layout weight. Just take a note over here, it's a property called layout weight, and I have given a value of 1 over here. What do I mean by that? In this particular linear layout, there are two widgets are there. If you see minutely, one is called TextView, the other one is called edit text, and each I have assigned them a layout weight of 1. That means they will be adjusting their shape and size according to the screen size. But one thing I remember, when you are going for layout weight, width you cannot assign either as match parent or wrap content. You have to leave it to the hand of operating system Android to determine what should be its width. So that's the reason whenever you are going for layout weight, you have to make the width as 0 dp. So in that case, it will be of equal proportion. See over here, even this particular linear layout has got two widgets, so I have made the width as 0 dp for each of these widgets. So both are having the 0 dp value, and their weight I have given as 1. So that means they are equally aligned. The equal spacing is been aligned according to the screen size, and that will be equally distributed. Okay, so this layout weight property will be shaping the widget to occupy such a space that should be taking in context to the screen size, and it has to be equal. Okay, Now, along with that, I have added few more properties that is called margin left. I have added 10 dp, so that's the reason you will not find the text appearing from the exact edge of the screen, rather a space of 10 dp, density independent pixel. That's a unit of providing spacing. So 10 dp are provided on the left side. Same goes for the edit text also. Right side I have provided a 10 dp space so that it does not touch the edge of the screen, which doesn't look that good. Okay, same thing I have done for the other two edit text as well. And over here I have taken one button like with the previous one also, and the button has an on click event, but there will be a little bit change the button. This time the result is not going to be shown in the toast message, rather I'm going to display it in a text view, and here is my text view. So inside the text view the output will be generated. So we will see how to generate the output in the text view. Okay, so these are the few properties which I have to say in regard to the XML file. Now I switch over to the Java part. Majority of the thing are same, only that I have added one text view over here. So let me run the emulator, and over here see the cursor is starting from the center. For that reason what I have done is that I have mentioned a text align property, and the text align property is center. That's the reason the cursor is appearing at the center. And if I run the app, then you will notice something. As I click this application button over here, you see the keypad gets changed to numeric only, no more alphabet, because you are performing calculations, so you don't need alphabets. And for that reason there is one more property called input type, which you have associated with an edit text, because this is a place where you are going to provide the numbers as input. So it has an input type equals to numbers. This is a predefined by Android. In that case the keyboard pattern will be exactly numbers. So let's take one numbers over here, and I've done that, and let's go for another one, and it's done. And now I can hit the button. As I do that, immediately you see the result popping up. So how do I make this particular result appear in a edit, or rather in a text view from after calculation? So that is what I'm going to show you now. So let's move over to main activity. Since I have taken an edit text view, so I have to add the caption over here called text view, and then I have to find the text view, which I have done over here. The name of the text view and the ID of the text view which I have taken is called caption. If you see over here, it's written as caption. Okay, and for making the text color property, let me add one more point. For making the text color property, as you can see over, the text color is red in color. Even this text view are also red in color. I have added a property called text color, and this particular color has been referred from the res folder, and inside the res folder you have a file called color, and from there it is coming. So even though the file name is plural, but when you're mentioning it, you're mentioning one particular color, so it's not plural is singular. Okay, but there will be no problem, because if you see this file, the exact color has been mapped. The color text which is having this particular color is actually been shown over here. That means everything is going pretty fine. Just keep it in mind, the file name is XML. In the file name is actually plural, but when you put the file name in the coding part, it's going to be singular. Okay, so let's get to the main activity.java. After finding the text view ID, I have gone for performing the execution, and for that reason what I have done is that I have used the caption, which is the name of the text view over here. If you can see the name of the text view where the output will be shown, the caption, I have give a call to a method called setText. And since the setText method is going to display everything in the form of string, so I've typecasted the whole statement in the form of string. Even though these were the string, but still I've gone for the typecasting, because here variables are used, so it might create some problem. So for that reason I've written sum of the following variable, and the following variable is the following variable. The whole statement is now within the string dot value of, and that's the reason the entire statement has been typecasted to a string type. So remember, when you're working at the text view level and you want to input something, try to convert it to the string dot value of into a string format, so there won't be any problem at all. Okay, and in my last video I said that I will be talking about the R. What is R? So in order to know this R, what I will do is I will change the view from Android to project, and after I've done that, I will come to the app. In the app, I will go to the build folder. Inside the build, you will find another folder called generated. Inside generated, you will find a folder called source. Inside source, you will find a folder called R, and inside R, let me expand it. Inside R, you will find a folder called debug. The path is pretty lengthy. And inside debug, you will find the name of the package in which currently I'm working. The package name, expand the package name, and there you will find the class called R. So basically R is actually a class name. Now what R consists of? Double click on this. The moment I do that, here you will find that it's an auto-generated file where some things are detailed. Some details are mentioned over here. To know about it, let's go and try out something. So this is my button over here, right? And the ID of this button is what? Is ID of button is known as BTN. Similarly, every edit text has an ID as well. So let's go and copy this particular ID name. ET2 is a name of the edit text, and I come to the R file. From the keyboard I am pressing Ctrl F, that will open my search, and I put back the thing which I have copied. The moment I put back, you see something very important. See over here, ET2 has been highlighted, and above that ET1 is there. You get to see some hexadecimal values. These hexadecimal values are referred as an address where this particular component is locating in the memory. Please be very careful. Whenever you are declaring any widget, whenever you are providing a name, every widget will be occupying a memory space, and the role of the R file is to keep track of that particular address, and that particular address will be denoted by an integer variable int, which is also static. That means it cannot be replicated, and it is final. That means it cannot be further initialized. So that means this whole address is been locating to this particular widget, and that information is kept inside the R file. That is the reason why we always write in the coding part that it's a r.id.et1. So R is the name of the class, and this is working as an identification for the given component. So after you have written this, the find view by ID will come to the R file, and it will be exactly taking this particular address, and after fetching that address, it will assign that particular reference, I mean to say that particular object, to the reference variable et1. So that's how the R is going to work. So in short, R is a system defined class that keeps the address of every widget that we declare, or every component that we declare, and the identification will be retrieved by the help of find view by ID. And after retrieving that ID, you will be assigning it to a reference variable depending upon its type. Okay, so that's all for this particular video, and I think that you got some overview about the XML layout. You got the information about how to set the message in a text view, and you also got an idea about the entire chain of getting to the R class, which is ultimately leading to the particular widget that present in the memory. Okay, I hope this particular video will be helpful for you, and in my next video I will be sharing few more important details. Until then, have a nice time.